Despite Ava Gardner's fame, and her many marriages to Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra, her final moments revealed a different side of her life. Throughout her career, she captivated audiences with her beauty and talent, leaving a lasting legacy in Hollywood. However, when she passed away, none of her ex-husbands or close family members came to her funeral. This absence surprised many, especially given her widespread admiration worldwide. Some say her relationships ended on difficult terms, causing bitterness and estrangement. Others believe her personal struggles with loneliness and aging created emotional distance from those she once loved. Over the years, Ava's life was marked by moments of joy and sorrow, high fame and personal pain. As her story closed, the lack of attendance at her funeral highlighted how her relationships might have faltered despite her extraordinary career. The reasons for her ex-husband's absence remain a subject of speculation, but her life story shows a complex mix of glamour, love, loss, and loneliness. Despite the hardships faced during her childhood, Ava Gardner's early years were marked by resilience and determination. Born in 1922, she grew up on a farm surrounded by nature and her 6 brothers and sisters, sharing a simple life with her family. Her family struggled financially, and life was often difficult, but she found ways to dream beyond her circumstances. When she was 15, her father passed away from bronchitis, which deeply affected her and her family. The loss of her father added to their financial struggles and made their situation even more challenging. Soon after, the Great Depression began, making things harder for everyone, especially families like hers. The economic downturn meant less work and fewer resources, causing stress and worry for her family. Despite these tough times, Ava showed strength and resilience. Her early life experiences of hardship and loss shaped her character and future. Her humble beginnings in a struggling family farm gave her a different perspective on life and helped her develop the determination to succeed in her future career. She moved forward with hope, and her early difficulties did not stop her from pursuing her dreams, eventually leading her to become a famous actress. Her childhood on the farm, the loss of her father, and the hardships of the Great Depression all played important roles in shaping her life and personality. These early years are a testament to her strength and perseverance, which carried her through the challenges she faced later in life. Growing up, Ava Gardner was raised in a deeply religious home that shaped her early years and values. However, her faith and trust in religion were shattered when a priest failed to meet her father during his final moments. This rejection left a lasting impact on her, causing her to abandon her religious beliefs and distancing herself from the faith of her childhood. Despite this emotional upheaval, her journey into the world of acting came about quite unexpectedly. One day, her brother-in-law saw her and believed she had potential, so he sent her photos directly to MGM, a major Hollywood studio. Remarkably, the studio noticed her, and soon she was on her way to becoming an actress. When she signed with MGM in 1941, she was still a young woman with some notable challenges. She had a strong Southern accent, which was not considered ideal for Hollywood leading roles at the time. Additionally, her acting skills were still developing, and she faced skepticism from many critics. Nonetheless, her chance with MGM marked the beginning of her career, setting her on a path that would eventually lead to fame and recognition across the world. After marrying Mickey Rooney in 1942, Ava Gardner faced opposition from her studio MGM, which was concerned that the marriage might harm Rooney's young, boyish image that the studio heavily promoted. Despite their objections, Gardner and Rooney went ahead with their marriage, but the relationship was far from smooth. The marriage was troubled from the start and lasted only a few years. Rooney's struggle with alcohol created many difficulties, causing tension and instability in their relationship. Gardner, known for her sharp wit and strong personality, often mocked Rooney's height, which added strain to their marriage. Their union revealed the differences between their personalities and lifestyles, reflecting a tumultuous relationship that was marked more by conflict and dissatisfaction than happiness. Despite the marriage's difficulties, this period was a significant chapter in Gardner's life, showing her in a different light compared to her glamorous public image. Their marriage ended in separation, but it remained a noteworthy part of her personal history. Both actors moved on to different paths, but their brief union left a lasting impression as an example of the complicated relationships amidst Hollywood's golden age. Despite her marriage to a leading MGM star, Ava Gardner faced many challenges in her early career. She wanted to become a well-known actress, but it was difficult for her to get good roles. Out of the 15 acting jobs she tried for, she only received credit for one. This meant that her career was not growing as she had hoped, and she felt stuck in her position at the time. During this period, she struggled to find her place in Hollywood and to step into the spotlight she dreamed of. Around the same time, her personal life was also facing hardships. She married Mickey Rooney, a famous actor at MGM, hoping that their marriage would help her career. However, their marriage was troubled and ended in divorce in 1943. Gardner decided to break up with Rooney because she experienced a lot of emotional and mental cruelty from him. She also found out about his infidelity and his problems with gambling, which made her feel unhappy and unsafe in the marriage. The divorce settlement was a small bit of relief for her. She was awarded $25,000, which helped cover her legal bills. This amount was a significant moment for her at the time because it gave her some financial independence and allowed her to move forward with her life. Her early career and her marriage to Mickey Rooney show how she faced many struggles, both professionally and personally, during her initial years in Hollywood. Yet, despite these difficulties, she continued to build her life and her career, pushing through the tough times. After Ava Gardner separated from Frank Sinatra's brother Rooney, she faced a personal tragedy when her mother passed away from uterine cancer. This loss came at a time when her career was starting to gain significant momentum, making it an especially difficult period for her. The death of her mother deeply affected Ava, adding sadness and grief to her life, just as she was experiencing professional success. Despite these personal struggles, Ava's life was also marked by her relationship with Howard Hughes. She had a long and complicated connection with him that lasted for many years. Hughes was a wealthy and eccentric man who saw Ava as more than a friend at times, and he proposed marriage to her multiple times. However, Ava chose not to marry him, although her feelings for him remained complex. Despite Hughes' unusual behavior and the difficulties that might have brought, the two maintained a close friendship for decades. Their relationship was unique, blending elements of affection, respect, and distance, and it lasted through many changes in their lives. Ava Gardner's life was filled with both personal sorrow and enduring relationships, which shaped her into the woman many admired. After marrying bandleader Artie Shaw in 1945, Ava Gardner entered a marriage marked by both attraction and difficulty. Shaw was older than Ava and known for his intelligence and musical talent. His presence in her life brought a new influence, and their union was seen as a pairing of two talented individuals. However, even with this connection, their marriage faced many challenges. Shaw's personality and actions often led to emotional abuse that affected Ava deeply. She struggled with feelings of inadequacy and doubted herself, partly because of how Shaw treated her. Despite the love she initially felt, the marriage became a source of pain and tension. Their relationship was complicated and tumultuous, showing how even prominent and successful people can face personal struggles. Over time, the difficulties in their marriage contributed to Ava's complex personal journey, influencing her life and career in significant ways. In the end, their marriage was a mix of influence and conflict, leaving a lasting impression on both of them. While she was married to Shaw, Ava Gardner made efforts to better herself through education. She tried to read more books and attended classes at the University of California, hoping to expand her knowledge and personal growth. Despite her efforts, she often felt insecure and struggled with self-doubt. Gardner believed she did not quite measure up to the intellectual standards of Shaw's social circle, which was known for its focus on arts and literature. Her desire to improve was genuine, but her insecurities sometimes held her back. She wanted to be more than just a glamorous actress. She aimed to be someone with depth and understanding. Although she worked to develop her mind, she also faced the common challenge of feeling not good enough, which many people can relate to. Still, her willingness to learn showed her dedication to self-improvement, even if she constantly doubted herself. These efforts reflect her desire to find her place in a world that often valued intelligence and sophistication. Her attempt to study and grow demonstrates her courage to face her insecurities, even if they never completely disappeared. She believed that education could enhance her life and help her feel more confident in her own abilities, but she remained aware of her limitations and insecurities. Despite her struggles, her efforts highlight her resilience and desire to evolve as a person. Her story reminds us all that trying to improve oneself is a journey that often comes with doubts and setbacks, but it is also full of courage and hope. After her marriage to Frank Sinatra ended, Ava Gardner's struggles with alcoholism became more serious. During her marriage to actor and playwright Artie Shaw, her drinking habits worsened significantly. She often drank heavily, which led to difficult periods of depression and frequent hangovers that affected her daily life and work. Despite her talent and beauty, her reliance on alcohol created personal hardships and strained her relationships. Shaw recognized the problem and tried to help by suggesting psychotherapy and psychoanalysis in an effort to improve their troubled marriage. Although these efforts provided some support, they were not enough to overcome the deep issues caused by her drinking. The alcohol problem became an ongoing challenge for Gardner and contributed to the deterioration of her marriage to Shaw. Despite her struggles, she remained a talented actress, but her battle with alcohol added a layer of personal difficulty that affected her life and career. Her story highlights how addiction can impact even the most successful and admired individuals, leading to emotional struggles and relationship problems that are difficult to resolve. Gardner's experience shows that efforts to address addiction require more than just therapy. They need ongoing support and understanding. Her ongoing fight with alcohol remained a part of her life during her marriage and beyond, marking a significant challenge she faced throughout her career. After just 1 year and 1 week of marriage, Gardner's relationship with Artie Shaw came to an end. The marriage was troubled by Shaw's emotional abuse, which created a difficult environment for Gardner. Her insecurities also played a role in the marriage's failure, making it hard for her to find happiness in the relationship. Despite these personal struggles, Gardner's career was about to take a significant turn. Her big break came with the 1946 film The Killers, in which she played the role of a femme fatale. Her performance was powerful and memorable, capturing the attention of audiences and critics alike. The success of The Killers marked a turning point for her career, establishing her as a major star in Hollywood. Her striking looks and strong screen presence made her stand out among other actresses of the time. This breakthrough opened many doors for her and set her on the path to becoming one of the most recognized actresses of her era. From that moment, Gardner's life and career continued to evolve, but the end of her marriage with Shaw remained a significant event in her personal history. Her ability to overcome personal hardship and succeed in her profession became an inspiration to many. Her story is a reminder of resilience and talent in the face of personal and professional challenges. Though Ava Gardner achieved great fame in her career, she also faced a lot of negative press that often painted her unfairly. The media labeled her as a woman of low morals because of her romantic history and the types of roles she played in movies. This portrayal made it difficult for her to be seen as the talented actress she truly was. However, Gardner often spoke about her personal life and insisted that she rarely went out or socialized much, preferring to spend most of her time alone. She wanted people to understand that her reputation was not an accurate reflection of her true character. Her acting career started to reach new heights in 1951 when she played leading roles in several important films, including the musical Showboat. Although she had taken singing lessons earlier in her life, her singing voice was not used in the film. Instead, it was dubbed by another singer. Still, her real voice remained on the soundtrack, and she continued to focus on acting rather than singing. Despite facing criticism and challenges, Ava Gardner's talent and persistence kept her in the spotlight, and she became one of the most recognizable actresses of her time. Her career was marked by both success and struggles with her public image, yet she continued to pursue her craft with dedication. After meeting Frank Sinatra when she was still an unknown actress, Ava Gardner's life changed as their paths crossed many times. When Gardner became a star, their relationship grew more intense and complicated. Despite her rising fame, their connection was full of passion, but also marked by difficulties. Sinatra was already married to Nancy when their relationship began, and his marriage status added a layer of complexity to their bond. Sinatra's deep jealousy and strong feelings for Gardner often created tension. His divorce from Nancy was not simple because of their Catholic faith, which made ending their marriage a lengthy process. During this time, Gardner wanted Sinatra to clearly show his true intentions. She made him confront Nancy, asking him to face the situation honestly. This confrontation helped him understand that he truly wanted to be with Gardner, and it ultimately led to their marriage in 1951. The tension of their love story was shaped by Sinatra's vows, his devotion to his faith, and the emotional struggle to be with the woman he loved. Their relationship was a mix of passion, challenges, and perseverance, reflecting the complexities of love and commitment. Despite the ups and downs, Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra's story remained one of the most talked about romances of that era. Initially, Gardner's relationships with married men attracted attention because of the potential scandal they could cause. She was known to have had affairs with well-known actors such as Fred MacMurray and Robert Taylor, both of whom were already married at the time. These relationships were kept secret because they could damage her reputation and cause public outrage. Despite the secrecy, her romantic life was considered passionate and intense, reflecting her independent spirit and desire for love beyond societal expectations. The affair with Robert Mitchum was particularly notable. Their relationship was kept hidden from the public eye, but it was serious enough to cause concern among those close to her. Mitchum warned Gardner that her affair with him could be dangerous because Frank Sinatra, her lover at the time, had a known temper. Sinatra was famous for his quick anger, and Mitchum told her that if Sinatra ever found out about the relationship, he might react violently or violently enough to cause trouble. This warning was taken seriously because Sinatra's jealousy was notorious, and it was clear that getting caught could have serious consequences. The affair between Gardner and Mitchum eventually ended, partly due to Sinatra's jealousy, and partly because of the risk involved in continuing such a clandestine relationship. Gardner's ties to these married men and her romance with Mitchum reveal her willingness to take risks for love, despite the potential for scandal and emotional pain. Her relationships were often faced with secrecy and danger, but also showed her desire for passion and connection, regardless of the rules set by society or fear of trouble. Her life was marked by a series of complicated romances, some ending with heartbreak, others deepening her reputation as a woman who valued love above all else. Throughout her life, Gardner's relationships with married men and her affair with Robert Mitchum remain topics of interest for fans and the media, reflecting her complex personality and the time she lived in, and her willingness to love boldly, despite the risks, remains a notable part of her story. After Ivor Gardner married Frank Sinatra in 1951, their marriage quickly attracted a lot of public attention and controversy. The press portrayed Gardner as a femme fatale, suggesting that she was the reason Sinatra's marriage ended. Many people believe that Gardner was the woman who caused Sinatra to leave his family, which led to a lot of gossip and criticism. Sinatra himself faced harsh comments from the media and the public for walking away from his wife and children. The scandal grew as stories about their tumultuous relationship and the breakup of Sinatra's first marriage spread widely. Despite the criticism, Gardner and Sinatra continued their relationship, but the public scrutiny remained intense. This period in her life marked a time when her personal life was under a microscope, and her marriage to Sinatra became a symbol of scandal and controversy in Hollywood and beyond. The media's focus on their relationship often overshadowed her career achievements and personal talents, making her one of the most discussed actresses of her time due to the public scandals surrounding her marriage to Sinatra. During their time together, Ivor Gardner and Frank Sinatra experienced many wild and memorable moments that captured public attention. Their relationship was known for its intensity and passion, which often led to adventures that seemed straight out of a movie. One of the most famous stories is about a night when both were drunk and decided to shoot out storefront windows, an act that resulted in them being arrested. This incident showed how their lives were filled with unpredictable and reckless behavior, yet it also highlighted the deep bond they shared. Even after their marriage ended and they became divorced, they managed to stay close, often calling each other and maintaining a special connection. Sinatra, who was known for his rough and romantic side, never stopped caring about Gardner, and their friendship continued long after their romantic relationship ended. Their wild times together remain a part of Hollywood history, illustrating how their love and friendship defied the usual boundaries, and their story continues to fascinate many people who remember their tumultuous but fascinating relationship. Firstly, many people know that Frank Sinatra and Ivor Gardner shared a complicated relationship marked by deep emotional and financial dependence. Sinatra often relied heavily on Gardner for emotional support, which sometimes caused tension between them. His dependence on her was so great that after their fights, he would sometimes make dramatic gestures, including multiple suicide attempts or pretending to attempt suicide, to express his pain or to seek her attention. Their relationship was intense and filled with ups and downs, reflecting both their deep feelings and the difficulties they faced. Meanwhile, Ivor Gardner's connection with Ernest Hemingway was a different, but equally significant part of her life. She maintained a close friendship with the famous author, who introduced her to the world of bullfighting. This interest fascinated Gardner, and she became passionate about the sport. Her love for bullfighting eventually led her to have a passionate affair with Luis Miguel Dominguez, a well-known bullfighter. This affair was marked by a fiery passion, but it also included fierce arguments. Gardner and Dominguez's relationship was intense and full of emotion, much like her relationship with Sinatra. Her friendships and romances showed her strong, independent streak, and her love for adventure and excitement. Both her enduring friendship with Hemingway and her passionate affair with Dominguez highlight her vibrant personality and her love for life's thrills. After she achieved fame as an actress, Ava Gardner starred in the film The Barefoot Contessa, which became one of her most celebrated roles. Despite her Hollywood success, her personal life was closely linked to her relationship with Frank Sinatra. While still married to Sinatra, Gardner delivered a memorable performance in the film, showcasing her talent and screen presence. During Sinatra's lifetime, he treasured a statue of Gardner from the movie, placing it in his yard as a symbol of his admiration and affection for her. This statue represented not only her beauty, but also the special bond they shared during their marriage. However, when Sinatra entered his last marriage, circumstances changed, and he was forced to remove the statue from his yard, possibly due to new relationships or personal reasons. This act marked the end of an era tied to both his love for Gardner and the physical reminder of their time together. Gardner's role in The Barefoot Contessa remains a significant part of her legacy, highlighting her talent and the complex, often turbulent relationship she had with one of Hollywood's biggest stars. The story of Sinatra's statue adds a layer of intimacy and nostalgia, reflecting how personal objects can carry deep emotional meaning even long after relationships end. Throughout her career and personal life, Ava Gardner's image as a talented actress and her connection to Sinatra continue to fascinate many fans and historians. After achieving early fame, Ava Gardner's career continued to grow as she took on a variety of roles in films like On the Beach, where she played a haunting and powerful character in a story about the end of the world, and The Bible in The Beginning, where she portrayed important biblical figures. Her talent and beauty kept her in the spotlight, and she became known for her dedication to her craft. Despite her professional success, she also faced difficult and painful experiences in her personal life. During the filming of certain movies, Gardner was subjected to abuse from her co-star George C. Scott, which was a troubling and upsetting experience for her. Because of these issues, she needed protection from the local mafia to ensure her safety from those who threatened her or tried to intimidate her. These incidents reveal that even successful actresses like Gardner, who enjoyed fame and acclaim, sometimes had to face serious problems behind the scenes. Her life shows that success does not always come without hardship, and her ability to persevere through both professional achievements and personal challenges made her a remarkable figure in Hollywood. She continued to work in films and maintained her reputation as a talented and enduring actress despite the difficulties she faced along the way. As Gardner aged, she faced many health problems that affected her life significantly. She had several serious illnesses, including pneumonia, which often made her very weak and tired. She also suffered from lupus, an illness that can cause pain and fatigue, and in 1986, she experienced a stroke that left her partially paralyzed. This stroke changed her life and made it difficult for her to move and speak as she once did. Despite these challenges, she refused to stop working. She continued to act and even performed her own stunts, showing her strong spirit and determination. Her health issues did not dampen her love for acting and performing. After her stroke, she felt very low and even considered suicide because she thought her life was over. Instead of giving up, she decided to tell her story through a memoir that was ghostwritten by Peter Evans. She wanted to share her experiences, her struggles, and her journey through life with the world. However, after starting the project, her interest in finishing the memoir faded. She lost motivation and never completed it, leaving her story untold in her own words. Despite her pain and health setbacks, Gardner showed resilience and continued to find ways to express her feelings and tell her story, even if only indirectly through her work, and the hope of someday sharing her life in full. In her final years, Ava Gardner chose to live a quiet and solitary life in a small flat in London. She preferred to stay away from the spotlight and spent her days in relative privacy. Despite her fame and success in Hollywood, she sought peace and simplicity in her later years. Sadly, her health began to decline, and she faced various health challenges. In 1990, at the age of 67, Ava Gardner passed away from pneumonia. Her death came just a few weeks before she was scheduled to meet a doctor recommended by Frank Sinatra, who had been a close friend and one of her most significant relationships. Her passing marked the end of a remarkable life filled with fame, love, and tragedy. Gardner's life story remains a testament to her resilience and the enduring mystery surrounding her life beyond the screen. She left behind a legacy that continues to captivate fans and historians, and her final days remind us of the fragile nature of life. Without doubt, her death was a quiet departure for someone who had once been one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Her story is remembered not only for her beauty and talent, but also for her desire for peace in her later years. Ava Gardner's death in 1990 closed a chapter in Hollywood history, and her memory endures as part of the golden age of cinema. Since her death, many have remembered Ava Gardner not only for her stunning beauty and acting talent, but also for her honesty about her life's regrets. In her final moments, she expressed feelings of sadness for not having a family of her own, despite her fame and success. She often wished she had been able to enjoy a good marriage, have children, and receive a better education that might have helped her life off the screen. These feelings show that even someone with great accomplishments can have personal regrets and desires. Gardner was buried at Sunset Memorial Park, resting alongside her parents and siblings in a quiet place that offered peace after her turbulent life. Over the years, people have continued to celebrate her memory, especially through the Ava Gardner Museum. The museum, which opened in 1996, stands as a tribute to her legacy as a star who lived through many ups and downs. It showcases her movies, personal belongings, and stories about her love, drama, triumph, and tragedy. Her life was full of emotional moments and unforgettable experiences that shaped her into an iconic Hollywood figure. Despite the challenges she faced, her enduring popularity proves that her legacy remains strong. Fans and visitors learn about her struggles and achievements, understanding that her journey was more than just glamour and fame. Her story reminds many that even the brightest stars have their dark moments and deep wishes. Her life was a mix of joy, sorrow, fame, and loneliness, which continues to fascinate those who study her. The museum and her final resting place keep her memory alive, showing how she touched many hearts. Her story is one of both shining success and personal longing, making her one of the most interesting actresses of her time. As people reflect on her life, they understand that behind her glamorous image was a woman who deeply felt and desired more. Her regrets and her final moments highlight the universal wish for love and family, no matter how famous one becomes. Her legacy remains a powerful reminder of the complexities behind the scenes of Hollywood's starry world.